Entertainment. Entertainment is what we're all about right here on Morning Rush. It's an amazing Friday morning. My name is Marisa, and I am joined in the studio by Shingai. Guys, I cannot even explain who she is right now because it's just incredible. So I'm going to let her do that herself. Shingai, welcome to Morning Rush.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
And I must say, welcome home as well. You know, your roots are in Zimbabwe. I understand that.
Yes, I did sing I was coming home, and now it is all coming to pass. It's so blessed. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that, your roots, your early life? Who is Shingai Shoniwa?
Shingai. Okay, so most people call me Shingy. I'm born and raised in South London. I'm a proud diasporan Zimbabwean. My mum is my chipo. She's awesome. She's a Shumba.
Yay! Yeah, I'm also a Shumba.
Well, there you go. Perfect. So so we're related then. I'm really, really grateful for all the values that she instilled in me, to be proud of my heritage, and that feeds through consistently through my work, through my career, through my attitude towards life, through my values. My father passed away when I was 9 or 10, and they both had to leave to go to England because they had to go into exile during the Chimurenga. So there are a lot of battle scars that came across with that, but I have managed to use creativity and reclaim and our culture and keep that alive as a means to my own healing. And it's been a common theme throughout my music. I've been I've been called a natural hair icon for the natural hair movement, which has actually even influenced policy. There's now a policy called the Crown Act, where you cannot discriminate beautiful black people with their African natural hairstyles. So there's a lot of, by me being proudly Zimbabwean and by me just always weaving, our essences and the way we do things, me weaving that Bantu flamboyance in my music, in my videos, and finally now to see that making an impact here is just incredible
for you. And obviously, look, the transition from you being in the group Noisette, and I was reading that you actually initially wanted to act, but then it just moved. I mean, your call is with singing. That's where your voice is. How was that experience for you? Because I mean, I've heard the songs. I heard you say,
hey, hey.
I heard you say, hey, I love that song.
So
how was that experience for you, starting that group? And
it was not easy, but musically, on the sort of backstage side, we say, there are so many challenges that black females especially face in the industry still, and especially at my point of entry, which is probably about, maybe 12 years ago or something. And so what I was doing was very rare. I'm rocking up with my guitar, with my bass, lead vocals.
You're a black woman.
Yes, and I'm reminding them that, a lot of these, riffs and a lot of guitar music is rooted in African music, as is most of the pop music we know and love today, such as your soul, your pop, your jazz, house music. It all comes from our African melodies and rhythms. So I kind of had to write us back into the story where we had been omitted, and just, make sure that we could be celebrated. So that meant, taking a lot of risks and risking a lot of opportunities for myself, but not compromising how I wanted the quality of what I was presenting to do. So Noisette has been fantastic. I'm now an independent, fully independent artist. I have my own record label. It's called Zimtron, and we are about to establish it here at home, because home is where, the benefits of my art really, I feel, should feel those benefits. It's all about, using my experiences and, all the hits, whatever, the 3 billion streams from Never Forget You, all of those achievements have to drive prosperity in the nation of my heritage, so that people we can drive and inspire our young growing creative artists. Industry.
Absolutely right. And you know what, I was reading that you are Thomas Mapfumo's niece as well. My father was friends with him. So he used to come to our house when we used to live in Maverain, and he was so tall, I remember, because I was so small, and I was like, oh, and he had locks, so I was very afraid of him. But how was I knew, because I was so small, I was like, oh, this big guy.
Yeah, babies and hairstyles, it's funny.
Yeah.
Kids will, if they don't like your hairstyle, it's true.
Yeah, so how just that experience, how has he influenced your journey, if he has, in your career?
Well, what I love about what Thomas Mapfumo, the Blacks Unlimited, and so many amazing pioneers of, like, I guess what was then called Chimurenga, Jit Jive, Sunguru, all that kind of stuff, what they did is at a time when cultural confidence and pride was at such an all-time low, it was really under attack by the colonial struggle at the time. So what they did is they revived our culture by transposing this tradition, ancient Mbira music, which we've still yet to really see how far we can take this music. Case in point, I'll tell you why. What they did with songs like Shumba is kind of what inspired me to write Coming Home, which is the lead single of Ancient Futures, the first debut EP from Zimtron in 2019.
Wow.
So what Coming Home did was a bit similar to what Thomas Mapfumo did, which is he just took a lot of those amazing elements of Mbira, those skippy, fun, bouncy, low bass lines, the melodies, the lovely hypnoticness and captivating quality of the music, but he put it onto the modern combo of the day, which was guitar, bass, and drums.
Yeah.
And so they took it to a next level, and that ended up being the soundtrack that pushed a lot of people on to ensure that we have the freedoms and the liberty that we enjoy today. Yeah. So with Coming Home, I've almost like put it into the future and into this contemporary space. So you'll actually recognize a lot of those bass lines from, maybe Kumusha and places like that, but they're on synth. They're on synths. I put a lot of drum programming on there. There are people like will.i.am, Neo, who I've worked with, who are crazy about that music, who I've introduced them because of how I celebrated it and revived it in Coming Home. We now have a growing audience around the world in some of the most renowned producers.
My goodness.
So that's how Thomas Mapfumo
has inspired you.
Yeah.
And you know what? You just explaining everything the way that you've done. Yes. I hear you're so well learned about music, and you was really explaining that. So I know that you've inspired people like Adele. Yes. She's got lots of lovely things to say about you and stuff. How did that happen? What's the story behind that?
Well, we were actually next door neighbours and just, super close in our formative years. We both went to the Brit School, and I was always having loads of amazing jam sessions, and, some of the top, most out there, pioneers of what is now the South London kind of jazz scene, which has been revived a lot. So I was having loads of jam sessions at mine, and her mum is also an artist and very creative. So we just interweaved. It was just like one big happy family. And I feel like it's very important now to see artists coming forward, especially artists that have been inspired by Black female musicians, because so often we've been omitted from the story.
Absolutely right.
You see what I mean? I mean, I worked with, I'm not trying to do a name drop first, but I actually worked with Paul McCartney, and one of the things he said there was a song that Noisettes had called Sister Rosetta, which was, celebrating the work of Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who's actually really the true pioneer of rock and roll guitar music. Wow. Her, Chuck Berry, the stuff that they did inspired people, people like Elvis. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So he said, the fact that you did that, I just thought it was amazing. You're writing her back in. And then he told me that she used to come and do inspirational guitar workshops and kind of masterclasses in England in the 60s. So now you see where a lot of the, a lot of the white rock and roll movement comes from this incredible Black woman. So I feel like I'm also on this kind of core mission to ensure that, people do learn about us and our giant contribution
as well,
to pop music. Yeah. So Adele kind of like just giving thanks. Everybody should be doing that, producers.
You're right.
So I think it's really beautiful that she did that.
That she did that. And Shingai, are you back in Zimbabwe for good, or you're in and out?
So the dream and the goal is to be based here on the motherland and to begin a new chapter of my life in Zimbabwe now that I'm independent. I really want to do my best to be a positive force, to inspire positive change here through my music, through my lyrics, through my vibes. I am very aware of the challenges that people have faced here, and I'm very aware of the bassa, the work that we have to do. And I feel like it's a really amazing time for people here to hear the challenges that we've also faced in the diaspora, and for us to combine, work together, and just grow as a nation and be where we deserve to be. Because, you know, there's been a lot of exporting of our minds, our ideas, our people, and it's time to build that bridge now between here and the diaspora. And, you know, if we want to have, you know, success stories, not that you can compare, but along the lines of Ghana, Nigeria, other post-colonial places who have also had trauma but embraced and utilized their diaspora to grow, I really feel like it's a great time for us to. Fantastic. So yeah, watch this space. I'm going to be here for a while.
Then that's absolutely right, guys. Let's watch this space. Shingai Shoniwa, right here live on Morning Rush. We are so happy to have you, and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence on Morning Rush. Well